I might even say like that might just be for promoting the pay-per-view George Masvidal. And no, I want a picture. I'm not running my mouth. I'm just saying like Gilbert Burns is objectively like not a pussy, you know? Like objectively in all the ways that you measure, pussy, not a pussy. There is absolutely no scenario where Gilbert Burns is on the side of pussy. Ooh, George Masvidal's got some words for everybody. He doesn't like when people be saying that he's ducking fights, dude, even if it's coming from such a nice gentleman like Gilbert Burns, because Gilbert Burns is a very nice gentleman. But he said publicly that Masvidal has turned down 3-4 fights in a row, or 3 or 4, or I don't know, 2, or maybe it was 2 to 3, maybe not 3 to 4, but 2 to 3, you know, bout agreement. It's like, here, fight Gilbert. And Masvidal's all, nah, I'm not going to do that. And Gilbert's like, yo, I'm done staying quiet in the shadows. Everyone needs to know the truth, and that's that George is being a little pansy. He's not signing the bout agreement. So George responded today, and he talked about the Colby case. He talked about the Colby Covington case. Talked about the Colby Covington case. Oh my God, that's hard to say, dude. Talked about the Colby Covington case, and he also talked about these allegations that he's ducking fights, and then he proposed a specific time and place to fight against Gilbert. That I'm like, what? Let's talk about it because I love it. I think they should absolutely do that fight exactly at that place, although there are other people who potentially deserve it more. We're going to talk about that too. All right. So, hey, Jesse, excellent intro. Really, really great intro. Before I do, though, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you've watched more than one of my videos. That's the deal. Handshake. You can watch as many of my videos as you want. You just have to subscribe. That's all. It's free, you know? And if you don't, you're stealing my candy out of my store. Okay, the cost of my free content is just a little click the button. Someone commented today, they're all, I'm stealing your candy every day. I was like, oh, I guess that means you're winning, dude. Like, wow, you must be winning because you're, you know, watching without subscribing. That must mean you're winning. And I looked and he's commented on my channel 43 times. I was like, hey, dude, commenting 43 times is more helpful than a subscription, but you're still breaking the rules. So you still have to subscribe, pal, even though I called you out now. But everybody else, if you don't mind liking the video and commenting, that would be extremely helpful. It really does help. Like the video, comment. I really appreciate it. Also, I got to call out Yo Kratom as the sponsor of this video. As I was talking about earlier, Kratom is a fantastic herbal, you know, substitute versus, you know, other things that people put in their body that are much more damaging. If you don't know what Kratom is, you know, don't get too deep in the weeds because, you know, it's just, I'm not promoting Kratom as itself. I'm promoting Yo Kratom as the source if you are already a Kratom user. And that is YOKRATOM. You get $60 kilograms, which is a ridiculous price, an absolutely ridiculous price. And the quality is top notch. I take it every single day. I took it right before this. That's why I'm talking so fast. Just kidding. All right. So anyway, yeah. So Gilbert Burns said that Masvidal's ducking him, and Masvidal had some words in response to that claim. I'm going to show you his video response. I love when guys do video responses. I'm a big fan of that. It's like, yeah. You know, it's like, it's one thing if I get to read their words, another thing if I get to see their face. It's like, you know, listen, I'm going to show it to you. Actually, let's just watch it real quick.
Hello, everybody. What's up? Sorry, been missing. You know, your boy's been spreading his words, doing his thing, making sure this country stays free as can be. I love all of you, left or right. Midterms are over already, so now I can focus on some other things, like myself and being selfish. So I gotta address this little bitch that I usually wouldn't have time for, but I'll make some time for you today, Gilbert. Hunter, if you're hearing this or when you see this, can you please tell this bitch I never agreed to November, December, or January? I've had court cases, I've had different things, a bunch of things where I haven't been able to decide I want to fight. Now I've gotten some much better news on today, so guess what? If you want to get your ass whooped when Leon Edwards defends that fucking belt in England, I will gladly beat the living shit out of you, Gilbert. If not, shut the fuck up, because you are a pussy and you're not going to do nothing. When you see me in the street or when you see me in the cage, and we both know it, you're going to ask for a fucking picture when you see me in real life and say it's all bullshit, it's just for the pay-per-view. So shut the fuck up.
All right. I got a lot to say about that. A lot. Number one, I love Masvidal, man. I love that dude. There's no one more entertaining than that guy. I love that dude. He's hilarious. And he's scary, man. He's scary. He's like, you're not going to do nothing in person. I'm like, damn, I would be, dude, if he ever said that about me, he's like, you're not going to do shit in person. I'm like, fucking, of course I'm not. He's all, you're just going to ask for a picture with me. I'm all, fuck, goddamn right. I better get that picture. Actually, I never ask for pictures. But with Masvidal, I would at least regret it afterwards because I wouldn't do it. But then, you know, like I would just hang out with him, and then afterwards I'd be like, fuck, I should have asked him for a picture, dude. I really would have liked to have a picture with him. You know, I always feel weird asking. I'm like, God, dude, like we're just hanging out. Why am I going to ask for a picture? But I do agree that that's exactly what Gilbert would do. But that's because Gilbert is a super nice guy. However, he said, Gilbert, don't act like you would do shit in person. You just be a pussy and ask for a picture. Okay, so Gilbert says, yo, it's just for the pay-per-view. He asked for a picture. I agree with that. But he also said he's a pussy. And like, there is absolutely no objective metric that you could defend calling Gilbert Burns a pussy, dude. Like, come on, dude. Come on. You know? I might even say like, that might just be for promoting the pay-per-view Jorge Masvidal. And no, I want a picture. I'm not running my mouth. I'm just saying like, Gilbert Burns is objectively like not a pussy, you know? Like objectively, in all the ways that you measure, pussy, not a pussy. There is absolutely no scenario where Gilbert Burns is on the side of pussy. None. Zero. Absolutely no chance whatsoever. He is as far and clearly on the side of definitely not a pussy as anyone has ever been ever. Right? I mean, I think we could all kind of just objectively agree on that, right? Gilbert Burns is nice, but definitely 1000% not a pussy. Okay? I was at the Gilbert Burns versus Khamzat Chimaev fight in the front motherfucking row. And good God, that was, I mean, you know, if you're consistent watchers of my channel, you know, it sounds like a broken record, but I can't explain to you what the emotional like what it was like to be in that fucking stadium, dude. I went to 8 shows this year so far. 8 UFC shows. And this, you know, someone's like, oh, what was like the best moment of any of it? Khamzat versus Gilbert, 1000%. No second, no even remotely close second. The best fight by 100 miles. I would be shocked if I ever go to a fight where I was more fired up than that one. Anyway, so yeah, he's not a pussy. But the other thing, so he said that he got some good news. He said that like basically he had never agreed to any of those fights, and that Hunter can verify that, and that he was out campaigning for the midterms. And again, that's my dude, man. Masvidal cares about what happens to this country, you know. And given that the big guy just announced that he's running in 2024, I think you're going to see a lot more of the political side of Jorge Masvidal. And yeah, I would be happy to jump in the ring in terms of supporting political candidates, although I don't think my reach is necessarily quite as big as George's. But I bet we agree on a lot of things. So there's that. But I support George's efforts, you know, dedicated towards good outcomes in the midterms and any other thing, because when he explains why he feels the way that he does, it comes back to actual stuff from his life, like his dad's experiences in Cuba, you know? So it's one of those things where people, well, what about January 6th? And you're like, yeah, I mean, I know that's a thing you saw on TV, but like he's talking about, you know, what his father went through in a country that had policies similar to what one side is, you know, like throwing out there as possible things that they would promote. Like, I mean, look, I'm not saying who's right. I'm just saying you could certainly say that, like, I would feel like his opinion is a little bit more valid based on his life experience. You know what I mean? But anyway, it's neither here nor there. Everybody gets a valid opinion, you know? You could be 18 years old and not know how to make a grilled cheese sandwich, and your vote counts as the same as mine, as a father with 3 kids and a wife who lost his job because he wasn't jabbed, you know? And you, little no grilled cheese skills, his vote counts the same. So that's America, dude. It's the world we live in. But when it comes to the court case, he specifically cited that as why he hadn't agreed to any of the fights yet. And, you know, he said that he got some good news. And so he's ready to fight on the England card. Now, 2 things. Number 1, I heard a rumor that his court case got pushed to February, which maybe that's what he was talking about, although I don't really know why pushing it back would be good news. But the court case with Colby is very clearly front and center on his mind, and seems to be, you know, weighing heavy on what he does. And look, I'm just going to say it. I finally will just say it. I believe it now, dude. I fucking believe it. I believe it. I believe it's real. 100%. Like I actually do now. I was just saying before, I was just saying it because I was like, I don't think I can say this anymore. But now I will finally say I do believe it. I do. Just because there's no other explanation for why Colby is being so quiet. That doesn't make any sense, you know? And, I mean, there's one other reason. But I don't know. I think it's probably real. It's really depressing, dude. But I do. Anyway, so he said that, but I heard that it got pushed to February. Whatever. He got good news. He says he wants to fight on the England card. Okay, so here's the deal, though, about that. So when I first heard that, I was like, the England card. So he wants to be on the undercard of the Leon Edwards versus Kamaru rematch. Now, why does he want on that card, you guys? Why, you guys? Come on. Come on. Why does he want on that card specifically? Huh? Answer. Because if he wins and he beats a top contender and Leon wins, title shot. All right, if you doubt that, don't. Don't do that. Definitely don't do that. Because if he wins in impressive fashion on the undercard or on the same card as Leon defending against Kamaru, and Leon now has some clout and he can pick his next opponent, and Leon says, I want Masvidal, and Masvidal's coming off a memorable win against a top contender, he's going to get that fight, dude. He's going to get that fight. And unless Leon is a fucking moron, that is for sure who he's going to ask to fight, because it's a good stylistic matchup for him, and Masvidal is going to drive by far the most pay-per-views. And I will go to that motherfucking fight for absolute sure. But when I first heard it, I was like, why? I don't understand why. Like, why would he want on that card when he's not going to get a title shot either way? Because my initial thought was like, dude, like Colby's in a better position, Hamzat's in a better position. There are all these guys that are in a better position to fight for the title. But then I remembered like that doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter who's in the best position. What matters is who Leon asked for and who the UFC wants him to fight. And if those two, if the two answers are the same, he wants to fight this guy, UFC wants him to fight this guy, and then this guy has done the bare minimum to qualify for a title shot, which beating Gilbert Burns would probably be enough, then he gets it. He gets it. And Masvidal understands the game, dude. So I really love Gilbert, but I'll never root against Masvidal, dude. Never. I love Colby and Masvidal, and that was a big test, dude. Like when they were fighting each other. Actually, I can't say that I was rooting for Colby or for Masvidal. I was just so sad, dude. Like, I've never been so emotionally like conflicted watching a fight, and I was there live. Where it was just like, fuck, man. Because and back then for sure, I still 100% thought it was fake, that they were best friends, kind of playing this out, and it just made me sad, dude. Like, it just made me sad watching them fight. And even if the beef is completely real and all this stuff is real, it's still just fucking sad, dude. Because I know that they were super, super, super close friends, and it's just shitty. But anyway, so yeah, Masvidal's playing the game. He's being smart, and I am impressed by his fight game, as per usual. And I will say again, if you watch that Colby Covington fight again, dude, and you just, exit, just forget about all the grappling stuff. Like, where Colby obviously was going to be dominant, and you just watch them on the feet, dude. Masvidal looked fucking good, dude. He did not look like he had lost a step at all. And if you consider that he lost the previous two to Kamaru Usman, who everybody loses to, I mean, the idea that he's like on some big slide is, I don't know, invalid in my opinion. Anyway, I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like, comment, and dude who said that you're stealing my candy, fuck you. But keep on commenting, dude. Tell me all about it.